Hey guys, how you doing? It's Jeff with Valley Fish. Just kind of hanging out in the fish room tonight, working on a few things. And one of the new things that I'm doing is setting up a. It's kind of temporary because this rack itself is not drilled. Everything else is going to be drilled with an overflow. This is kind of my collection is bigger than my fish room right now. But I did have a guppy strain in here. Ended up moving them out. Rinsed out the tank with the sprinkler. If I still have that video, I'll add that now. Alright, I gave the signal to the girls to start it up. The old antique sprinkler is purging the water. That's going to give this tank a really nice rinse. And we're going to go from hard water to soft water. This one's painted blue, which is a little weird, but we did put a bulkhead on it. We'll probably make it dump down into the bottom tank or something crazy, but short-term project. It's definitely not going to be a long-term. You got it wide open? No? Go ahead and turn it wide open so we get a real good sprinkle.
Turn it
Yeah, turn it wide open. Hurry up. Come on. Anyways, cleaning fish tanks. Tank's probably older than I am. And looks nice and clean. Yeah. There we go. That's how you power wash a tank when you're switching with lots of water. She turned it the wrong way. Anyways, it'll be updates. And, well, if you've seen that, it was kind of funny. As some people say, it was power wash. But what I'm doing is I did have this tank all nice and cleaned up for you guys. This substrate's like years and years old, probably like 7. It was ADA substrate, and it housed a whole bunch of different Caridina shrimp, from blue bolts to crystal reds, crystal blacks, goldens. And I've had a bunch of stuff kick out over the years, but what happened is that whole collectoritis kind of got condensed down to 120 long. And again, I'll try and splice in right now. If I can find some footage of what it currently looks like. But, alright, so now you've hopefully seen that. It's going to be a spicy video, but I'm trying not to make it too horrible. But, yeah, we're going to fill this one up. And, unless somebody sends me some really awesome shrimp in the near future, I think I'll go through and I'll pick out, like, crystal blacks. And try and go from a select line to colony bred with a whole bunch of stuff, to see if I can get a crystal black line that looks pretty good. I thought about doing crystal reds out of there, but I've seen a lot of crystal blacks that are buried. Now, there's one thing with moving and everything that went on. There was a year and a half or so that this tank got pretty neglected. Minimal water changes. I have got that back underway, and we've done quite a few water changes. And everything went from just surviving to buried. So a lot of these shrimp are a little old, but and then unfortunately about 2 weeks ago I scraped this glass, and I was going to give you guys an update, but I'm going to have to do that again. And I think because behind us, this time got a curtain on that window, and I'm not sure which way I want to go, and I only want to do it once. So I'm thinking of a couple ideas, and whether it was tint it or get like a lace and whatever. We'll figure that out when I do. But that's the problem, is I got a super high light at the old what it is. It's really expensive. Man, I can't think of what it is, but I think it was a number 3. Aquarium 3. I don't know. It was the 65K. Anyways, 5 years ago, it was top of the line. I can't think of what you call that thing now. And I got another one, and I don't Yeah, there's no label, but that's the one that it is. Not very helpful. Anyways, I said I'd start making videos, and this is why, because I didn't put a lot of time and preparation into it. But this tank here, I'm gonna flip you. This tank here, getting a little bit of algae just from too much light, and there's everybody hanging out, looking good. There's a crystal black that's all buried so much you can hardly carry them. And if I was good, I'd have put some food out. You'd see that there's a whole bunch of shrimp in there, but what I was wanting to show you is I bought some Akadama. This is that Bonsai. I know some people are using it as substrate. I couldn't figure out if I wanted the big one or the small one, so I bought both. This is the large, and for the last month, I'll show you. It's kind of gunky on top because I'm just filling it, and I did shove a struggling Amazon sword right there. But I'm going to show you when I run around. I'm going to show you the laundry room, which is a disaster. It'll keep going. This is where I keep my water, and I fill it up. It's got a circulation pump down in there. I only run that when I mix pretty much the remineralization. But I had this old fish tub, and I just emptied this because it's wet. But I had all that substrate soaking in here, and it was in my my water, my RO water for that I remineralized for the Caridina. So that's the horrible laundry room. Got a tub where I can run temperature controlled water off of. Toilet needs clean. You gotta understand. But you're here for the fish room. Back towards that, and it's a project in the making. This will be the next project. This one shouldn't even be here. And this summer, when the weather is nice, I'll start painting, and we'll get these 4 filled, and that will set up this rack. And it'll be 12 20s, and they're 20 highs. And this will be my 12. I had to count, yeah, 12 10-gallon rack. And some of the tanks look good. A lot of them look cloudy. That's just because of the too much light. Got a bunch of angelfish that are just kind of growing out and hanging out. They follow me around everywhere just because they want fed. Guppy and shrimp projects. But these guys are cool. Hello. Hello. Hi. You haven't been fed today. Yeah, super pretty. I got some that are just awesome. The Philippine blues. I got some platinum Philippine blues in there. Someday, when life slows down, hopefully we can work on breeding. I run this temp with an ink bird, and it runs right at 73. Probably flickering, but that's low enough temp that keeps them from breeding for me, and just lets them be a nice colony in that 75. I think too much green water because it's too close to the window, but moss grows great. Well, I kind of showed you a few tanks. I'm not going to label it a tour or something, or maybe I will. I don't know. But that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up a new Caridina tank. It'll be a 20 high. I'm going to probably select out some crystal blacks, and I'll probably make a video, get the glass all cleaned up, and maybe, since there's so many buried female, we'll pick one out and see how many actual crystal blacks of the shrimplets we can get into this tank. There we go. Had to drop to a knee for you guys. So that's the current 20 long that has all the Caridina, and there's a couple 5.5s that have some shrimp projects in there. But we switched this one over to soft water, because my water is like liquid rock. And yeah, that is what I'm doing. Just a little update. Got the hiccups. Just got done polishing off good pasta dinner. So yeah, I hope you like it. And there'll be more updates. I definitely now have to make, when I select out which ones I'm going with, probably be crystal blacks, but That's just a little in the day of the life of the fish keeper, as I like to call it, or whatever. But that's what I got going on in my little corner of paradise. When I get time, I might make more of these, because I went quiet on the channel for a while, and I know you guys like being able to watch something, because that's what I do with YouTube, is I watch it when I get time. And I try and keep up with most of the channels, but you know, life gets busy. I'm going to show you these guys. They're looking super cool. The one thing that catches my eye, summer tubbing going to come up. I'll flip you over so you get the good camera. My koi line. Hope to produce a lot of really good ones, and I've had this line for years and years and years. And about the only way you get fry is doing summer tubbing. Now occasionally, see if it lets me zoom back out, it did. I got a big old colony over here, and occasionally when I get home the light just kicks on and I'm able to go up to the top of the surface and be like, what's hanging out here? And I got a breeder box where I'm successfully pick out a few of them. But you pretty much have to let them be like almost breeding size to not let them get eaten if you were to release them back into the colonies. So they are a big pain to keep going, but I've managed to do it. And I don't worry so much about coaling this tank, because none of the fry I'm able to keep, but when I do summer tubbing, I'll go through and I'll pick out some great ones. And basically everything up here in this 10 gallon is ready to go. Ready for the weather to cooperate. One thing I do gotta point out, what I'm trying to do here is that has been in that water tub for well over a month. And I am pulling some water from the already cycled tank. And I'm using an air stone right here because this tank, unfortunately, a long time ago, I got little seed shrimp that came in when I tried to introduce in some new crystal reds. There's not very many, but they sure do annoy me. So I got a few of those every once in a while, and I'm hoping with the air stone running on there that I don't just totally introduce them to the new tank. So if I get seed shrimp on there, they make it through an air stone. But I'm hoping that that one's small enough course that they will stay in the tank and not go to the new tank. But you can see it definitely needs scrub. But yeah, I'm trying to fill this one, and it'll be over in the next couple days that I'll slowly add it up. And then I got a sponge filter that I did have cycled, but I ended up pulling it out just to make sure there was no snails on it or scuds. So I let it dry out, and then I will reintroduce that into this tank. And this is, like I said, this one's drilled but not tied in, so we'll never go up to the overflow, because I like to say that this whole rack is really just temporary, because in the perfect world nothing on this wall would be set up yet, because I have a shut off over here from my overflow system, and none of this really should be here. It's just projects that kind of doing it old school. I gotta drain it and then I gotta fill it. So yeah, eventually it'll all be tied together, but you do what you gotta do, and collectoritis gets you sometimes. So, and that's what I'm doing. So I got summer tubs going. I just filled one. While we're doing a video of nothing, I'll show you what's cool. So these are the big windows to give me all the algae problems. Going in the rabbit cage right now, she got a little run. But outside of this window, this is where I keep all my succulents. They are super cool. But I'm gonna flip you over and show you what you can kind of see right there. A little pond, got it filled up. And I hope to have a little pond action right next to my window. And like I said, I'll flip you over. So I think this will be every every Saturday morning I come down and I water my succulents. And I used some aquarium water to do that. But I just got this thing filled up, and it was perfectly level, but it settled funny. So I might dump it one more time and tap that corner down, because I almost had it leveled the last time just by using my heel, but I have to get a little more aggressive on the shovel. But that's like a 30-gallon tub, so that'll be some fun. And it's kind of shaped like a wok or whatever I think you'd call it. It's a V-shaped tub, and yeah, that sits right out, and that's a ginormous project that will eventually get flipped over, and we'll do that in that window. But that one's probably going to be towards next year, so not showing you that. But well, I think I made a video that's not too horrible, and I'll be able to upload that. And so that was kind of fun. Didn't take but a few minutes. So I'm going to keep trying to do that. And I know it's not the greatest, but it is just a day in the life of a fish keeper. Setting up a new tank, trying to move some good shrimp over, and hopefully that ends up in something. So, and if it doesn't, it might just be another Caridina coal tank or whatever. But they sure are pretty, seeing them all together. That is the one fun thing I did learn about that. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.